What's up, y'all? We back again, another video. Today we're gonna be doing finally putting the transmission, this used transmission that I got from Ivan, in my Impala. I took my son and I went to Cars and Coffee this past weekend, and she finally gave all the way out. Had a strand in the middle of the road, so time to do it. But before we do that, we're gonna give this used transmission the best possible, outcome and life that it could get. So there's a couple things we're going to do to the transmission before we put it in. It's going to be these Transgo kits that we got a boost valve and a pressure regulator valve we're going to be installing. This tip I got from a buddy of mine named Joel in Alabama. He builds a lot of B-body transmissions. I've met him at a couple shows and stuff like that. So I hit him up about building one for me. But he said, if you're going to get a used one, do these upgrades. I have a torque converter. I have a fluid and gasket, not a fluid and gasket. I have a gasket and filter kit for it. So before we install the transmission, which I'm going to do later at my friend's house, he's got a lift and everything like that. So I'm going to trailer it over there, put it on the lift, install it. We're going to do the pressure regulator valve, the boost valve. We'll do a new gasket, filter. I have a stall for it. All that stuff. We'll get all that done. So when we get there, toss it in, get it going. But before that, I got to do a couple things. I got to go to work and get some tools out of my toolbox I'm going to need because all my good tools are at work. That's how I make my money. And then I got to run by the parts store, grab some new fresh fluid. And then I got to get the wife's truck washed. So we're going to do all that. And then when we get back, I'll get this loaded up on my table and we'll get this done. Heads are really trying to bring the pain. There's nothing more. All right, so we're back home after doing all that running around. We got just about everything we need to get this thing going. I just got to go back in the truck, grab some tools and stuff like that. But basically, just going to show you guys all the stuff that I have for this transmission swap. All right, so we'll start off with our new to me used transmission. I picked this up from Ivan a couple weeks ago. I just put these fittings on here. I plan on doing A&N lines, but I don't think I have enough hose, and my buddy's lift is available today, so I'm gonna have to do this another time. So I still have the original fittings. I'll put those back in, but at some point I am gonna upgrade to the A&N lines. But it's a used transmission. I don't know if it works. He said it's good, so we're just gonna take a chance on it. We have our Transgo. I think this is the boost valve right here, which is this piece here. So it's got some springs and collars and stuff like that. And this is our pressure regulator valve. That's the part number there. And here's the part number for the boost valve. We have our new gasket, new filter, and then we have this torque converter. I ordered this probably 2 or 3 years ago. I was ordering when I still had my shop. I was doing a bunch of LS swaps, and I ordered this. It's a 2800 stall, 26 to 2800 stall. But I accidentally ordered the one for this style transmission, not the LS. So it's been sitting on my shelf for years and years, and I never used it. It is a little much for the car that I'm putting it in. I should go with a smaller stall, or at least a smaller diameter stall, like a 9.5 or a 10. This is a 12-inch. So it is going to make the car a little laggy. With the stock 308 gears, I do plan on upgrading to 373s at some point. But I just didn't see the point in buying a whole new torque converter right now when I have this one here. I'll put it in. Worst case, if I don't like it, I'll pull it out. But I figure I've had it this long. It's just sitting here in the way. I might as well install it. And, with the 373 gears, maybe it'll be okay. And again, if I don't like it, I can always take it out, put a stock one back in. That's the part number right there. It's written on there. So all this is going to go in. But the first thing we got to do is install these. So I'm going to flip this over. All right. So I moved the transmission over to this cart here, just because I don't know how much fluid is in it. and I don't want to make a mess on the table. So that's why I did that. So 13 millimeter bolts. I already see some fluid coming out. Ugh. All right. So it's a little dirty in there. It's not, I guess that's normal. I've seen quite a few pans and I've seen worse. So it's not completely terrible. I don't see anything crazy. Anything looks. I mean, again, I don't build transmissions, so I really don't know what I'm looking at. I know this is the accumulator piston, I believe. But from what I can tell, that boost valve is right down in here. It's got a tiny snap ring holding it in. So let me grab my snap ring pliers and we'll get that out, and a magnet, which I hope I have here. I'm not sure. It might be at work. I do have to go back to work. There's some tools I forgot. So let me grab my snap ring pliers and we'll try to yank that out of there. All right, just want to give you a close up, but that's what we're after right there. That is your boost valve right there. So we get that snap ring out, and then we got to yank that guy out of there. Just kind of a close up on the transmission. I mean, nothing crazy. If you pull the pan off before it all, you know, pan's a little dirty. There's some clutch material, of course, in the bottom of the pan. Pretty normal. I mean, that's every pan I've ever pulled off for the most part looks like that. Even when I did my Sierra, I had to put a transfer case in it, and I pulled the pan off of it just because I was like, you know what, let me do a fluid and filter on it since it got rebuilt. And I mean, it wasn't this bad, but it was, there was clutch material. That's pretty normal. You're gonna see, you know, but as long as you don't see any chunks or pieces, I think we're okay. All right, these are the ones I have. They're made by Channel Lock. It's a good thing I like about these. I use these for the steering wheels. I got to get some better tips for them though. For the focus. Let's see. But this is what I have available, so we're gonna try to make this work. So what I like about these, you can switch them. So right now they're on open mode. You go like that. Now they're on close mode. So I'm gonna try to do this on camera. Get down in there. These may not work. Maybe some better ones. Try to get you in on the action, but kind of hard. All right, let me fight with this for a little bit. Oh wait. Nope. Yeah, let me fight with this for a little bit. This is something I'm gonna have to concentrate on, and we'll see what happens. Right, let's see. Oh, okay. That's one piece of it. Put that there. And try to get everything in the order that it comes out. So we got this. This was there. And I think there was a spring down in there. Okay, I'm gonna need some longer pliers. All right, well, my longer pliers are at work, so we'll just scoop this spring out here. All right, that spring there. There's another spring here. Oh, nope, fell back. Try not to score the housing. I don't know how to build transmissions, but I know if there's some type of aluminum housing, you don't want to score it. And I believe this thing has to come out too, but I don't have pliers long enough to get that out. All right, let's see what we can do. Hold on. I don't know how you guys feel about Snap-on, but this screwdriver here is probably one of the most used tools in my arsenal. I used it to get the pressure regulator valve out because all my long needle nose pliers are at work, and this worked perfectly getting it out. So we got it. Oh, it even comes with a new snap ring. Oh, awesome. I didn't see that. Okay, so we got everything out. I actually just filmed a bunch of stuff and realized I wasn't recording, and I ripped the paper, taking it out of the packaging. But I think I got this all set up right. My buddy Joel, shout out to him, man. I mean, he's amazing. So funny. I pulled out the packaging, I watched the video, and I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the new stuff, I'm looking at the old stuff, and I'm like, man, it doesn't make sense because this doesn't look like this. And he said, literally texted me last night and said, the boost valve is pretty straightforward. And I'm almost saying this word for word. He said, the boost valve is pretty straightforward. What messes people up is the pressure regulator valve because it comes in two pieces. Sure enough. So this slides on top of here like that. And now it kind of looks like that, like the original one. And then I'm looking at the kit and I'm like, okay, these two springs came with the boost valve, and then the pressure regulator valve came with this spring. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, now I have an extra spring. Am I supposed to use this one or this one? And he even said, hey, because you ordered both, you'll have an extra spring, just throw it away. And then even in the kit, it says reuse main regulator spring if using this valve. With any other Transgo kit, use the spring provided in that kit. So this kit came with the boost valve kit. So this is the one we're going to use. And then we have the extra spring. So all that'll get tossed in the trash. So I think I got this set up pretty good. I'm going to flip this over because that's the way. Well, I guess we can just do it how this is. So we got new snap ring here. So we're going to set this up just how this is. Pretty straightforward. We got the boost valve, which is this thing here. And I think that's oriented right. Boost valve. And we have the new big spring, the new little spring. And then this is like this. This sits over that, like that. And I gotta find out where this goes. Oh, boom. Okay, and this is also set up like that. So main regulator valve, orange spring, spacer. So this spacer goes on top of here. Okay, so that drops in there. And literally this will actually sit inside of here on that spacer. And this will sit inside of this one. This will sit in here. And the snap ring. So there we go. So let me go ahead and grab some Vaseline to hold all these pieces together, especially the spacer and all this stuff. And then we'll get this back into the transmission. All right, figure I'll set up the tripod and let you guys take a gander here at putting this snap ring in. So I'm going to use two-prong method here. We're going to push this down. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that I can see how tricky this is going to be. Let me get a longer screwdriver. Because the problem is that's going to be in the way. I got a longer one in here somewhere. Pause. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, hopefully it's landscaped. Yeah, should be. Yep. Okay. Let's try this again. So push that down. Can't see. Okay, nope, that's not gonna work. We're gonna need a flathead to guide it down with it. Let's see if we can. There we go. Is it in? Oh, I think it's in. Hey, it's in. All right, I think we are done. Boom. I think we are good. I think that's, yeah. All right. All right, so this is basically part one of the transmission video. Part two, when I go to my buddy Tim's house, as long as he's cool with it, he watches the video, so he might be. I'll film us actually putting the transmission in. What I'm gonna work on now is just cleaning up this pan, getting the new filter in, new gasket, getting the pan ready, loading my truck up with tools, hooking the trailer up, putting the car on the trailer, heading over to this place. So hopefully by the end of the day today, we'll have our transmission in the Impala if all goes well. But this is just really a video on the pressure regulator valve and the boost valve for these transmissions. And just, I forgot to show this in the beginning, but kind of important and why we're doing this. So increases pressurized response for use in trucks, police, taxis, delivery, and high performance. Also reduces 3/4 clutch failure, band failure, and low reverse clutch slip. That's literally what's happened with my transmission now. So hopefully this will help this transmission along, live a little bit longer, perform a little better, and give it the best chance of working good in this car for however long I decide to keep it in. All right, y'all. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helped somebody out there. This is my first time doing it, so again, I'm trying to, testing my comfort zone here on certain things. But now that I know how to do it, it really wasn't that bad. Which kind of 90% of the things when it comes to cars is when you work on cars all the time and do all kinds of stuff. You just got to try it. So. We'll go ahead and get this back together. I'll get the pan cleaned up, get it back together, get the car loaded up on the trailer, head over to Tim's, and we'll start pulling the trans. That'll be in part 2 of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thank you for your continued support.